Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the Signature Life Podcast. I'm your host, Rosalie Matthew, and today I have an amazing guest for you. She is a licensed cosmetologist and an instructor. She's been in the industry for 21 years, and she has been featured in Jet Magazine and Hype Hair Magazine. She has also been on stages like the Bronner Brothers, and she is an amazing, amazing individual. Today, she's passionate about helping beauty professionals grow beyond the chair, teaching them how to think like entrepreneurs, sharpen their skills, and turn their expertise into digital assets. And we're all about growing beyond the chair. So this is an amazing conversation. Please welcome Celease Noel to the Signature Life Podcast. Welcome, Celease.
Good morning. How are you? I'm excited to be here.
Yes.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Yes.
I am.
This is going to be a great conversation because you are doing some amazing things that I feel like our audience can benefit from.
Absolutely.
Heck, even I can benefit from it.
Yes, ma'am.
How is your day today?
My day is going great. You know what? On my way over here, it's funny that, you just asked me that because on my way over here, I was like, do I record? But I just turned on some worship music just because I wanted to make sure that I set my mind in the mode of what was about to take place. But my day has been going amazingly well. And it's much better now that I'm sitting in this seat and I get an opportunity to be interviewed by you. I'm excited to be here.
Well, you segued that real nice because we like to start off with 3 gratitudes.
Awesome.
So what 3 things are you grateful for today?
Oh, so, when I got my email, because, I can go on and on and on. But when I really read the email and said, first of all, let me just commend you on having everything so professionally done. I love that. I was like, okay, come on, sis. I absolutely love how you had it professionally done. Everything was in order. So you said the 3 things that I'm grateful for, just to give some gratitude. I'm going to say my first one is, to truly have a life now. And this is why I'm grateful for this in this season, to truly have a life now that's led by God. Because previously I've been in business doing things and I haven't really had a surrendered life led by God, but thinking it was, but right now I can honestly say I am grateful for it because things are totally different and I can just see what God is doing. Number 2, I'm going to say to have a sound mind. Just so much that's going on in the world, just to know that, just to have my mind, to be able to have good thoughts, to be around great people, even having good conversation with someone like yourself. So to have a sound mind. And number 3, to know that that I really have what it takes. You get me? That I really have what it takes and that, everything that I need is already within me. So I'm excited and I'm grateful that I finally know that I already have it. Just keep going. So I'm grateful today. Yes, Amen.
What?
I am. I'm extremely grateful.
That's amazing. So I'm grateful for friends that do not allow you to talk trash about yourself.
All right.
I was in a conversation with a friend and I said something and she said, What is that? Don't do that. That's annoying. I said, yes, ma'am.
We all need those friends.
Right? I was so grateful for that because sometimes you have conversations with people and I call it blowing smoke up your butt that, let you think that you're doing okay when you're actually not.
Yes.
So grateful for that. I'm grateful for my children because they make me laugh. And I'm grateful for this season because when I was building my business, the actual amount of time that I spent with them, I wasn't spending a lot of physical time with them. So I made a shift in my brain that the time that I do spend with them is impactful. So it might be a short amount of time, but when we look back on a moment, you'll be like, oh, there was that moment. They always make me laugh. So it might be like 10 minutes, but in that 10 minutes, whatever they said, like how they did me yesterday, my son gave a little joke, talk about, hey, Mom, what's under there? And I was like, what's underwear? And then he started cracking up because that was the joke, underwear. And he's 8.
What's underwear? Oh, wow. That's a new one. Mom, what's under there? You said underwear.
Yeah.
Underwear.
Because he's 8, all this underwear business is like, kiki. So that's
Aw.
hilarious. And then
That is cute.
the third thing I'm grateful for is the opportunity to meet people who are going in the same direction.
Yes.
And I really feel that about you. So I'm really
Absolutely.
grateful that you're here
Yes,
to
ma'am.
share more about your journey, because I don't even know, but all I know is if I'm looking for somebody to run with, that's you.
Amen.
Amen.
I'm excited about this transition. And I'm excited to be here. I really am.
Excellent, excellent. So we're going to move into telling us about how did you become this individual that we're meeting today, and where in that journey did we meet?
Oh, wow. So to answer your first part, which is how did I actually come into being the individual that I am today, this amazing individual that I am today? I'm
Yes.
working on what you said
Yes.
earlier. Yes. This amazing individual that I am today. Honestly, I've been doing hair, I think like so many other hairstylists when we were kids and things of that nature. I honestly, this is a true story. Family, my mom and dad split, went through a divorce. And so we went to a family reunion that was I'm originally from Florida, but it was back in Georgia. Cairo, Georgia is the name of the place.
Oh.
We had a family reunion, and at this family reunion, my hair was a mess. And at that time, this woman was wearing Jerry curls. You already know that's what it was. We were wearing Jerry curls. So at this family reunion, I met a cousin, and she was like, "Are you gonna leave your hair like that?" And I said, I didn't think anything about it because I was a kid. I was maybe about like 10, 11 years old. Well, she gave me this style. And from the time she gave me this style, I got so many compliments. I absolutely loved it. Not only that, but after that, I never wanted to take it down. So we got to travel back to Florida. I still got this style that she's giving me. And now 2 weeks has passed and it looks a mess at this point. But I was so connected to the compliments and so it's just like, you know what? I didn't want to take it down. Well, something in my little brain at that moment said, you can do this yourself. Give it a shot. Well, I perfected it.
Ooh.
From that day forward, knowing that I can do that, I started doing my sister's hair, from my sister's hair to my friend's hair, and just moving along on that journey of, really enjoying to do hair. But when it comes down to the amazingness, I'm just going to say that foundation that was instilled from a little girl, which is my spiritual walk, my mom introducing us to Christ, along with, never being afraid to take a risk. I've always been a risk taker. So it's just like, I know that, hey, if this isn't working, so I have to do something else. The next part where you just said, how did I meet you on my journey? Honestly, I had moved to Atlanta and I was looking to start teaching. I had just became a licensed instructor, which I was teaching before I ever became licensed, because in the state of Florida, you don't really need a license per se. You just teach. If you have 2 years of experience, you can teach at the school. But when I came to Georgia, got my educator's license, and it's so much behind that. But I was looking for a place. And when I met you, I want to say I was thinking about this yesterday, honestly. I said, she wasn't on Peerspace because Peerspace wasn't around. It was something. You already know that technology is progressing and it's advancing. I don't know where, but I found your information online.
Okay.
That you had a space where, that was able to rent. And when I called you, your price was so affordable. The price was so affordable, I could not turn it down. And I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and pay that.
Yeah.
That time, and it was really, really affordable. I think it was like $50 to $100 if you do this amount of hours.
Yeah.
But I thank God for Miss Rosalie having that space because it worked. And then I think, had them 5 people. In that time, I had those 5 or 6 people that showed up. So it just pretty much just gave me the clarity about the direction that I was moving in. But I met you at a time that I was seeking again. I wasn't asking for permission from anyone. Like, I just knew that this is something that I'm supposed to be doing. I understood the assignment in that season. And so, I'm like, I'm going to have me a hands-on training class for stylists. And this is the building. And I met this amazing woman named Miss Rosalie.
Wow.
And God did, everything is just,
Yeah. I remember when you came in, I was like, this lady is fly. You were put together. You were put together in a way that I've never seen people be regular like that. I was like, I wonder what she's doing.
Oh my goodness. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and I remember also just being. I knew that space could accommodate educators, but the educators that were coming were from products, and I was also working with the Association of Natural Hair Care Professionals.
Okay.
So nobody had come as a standalone, like I'm teaching what I know. And so at the time I was teaching on behalf of the Sisterlocks brand. And so I had never seen that step outside of just do your own thing until you came around, and I was like,
that's so awesome.
Put that in my back pocket for later.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. But it's funny that you say that, because when I was, and so this ties right back into the original question when you asked me about, when you met me on that journey. When I was in the educators program, I had a student, they were having the Bronner Brothers show. And I had a student, she said, you going to the show? I said, I am. And she said, okay. And she said, yeah, I'll be there and I'll be working. And she named this particular company that she'll be working with. I said, okay, because we're all familiar with this brand. It's a big brand. She said, yeah, I'm going to be one of the sales associates there. She said, well, what, she said, well, will you be there? I said, yeah, I'll be there working as well. And she said, okay, well, who are you going to be working with? And I said, Celease Education, which is my brand. And she said, oh, I never heard of that. I said, it's mine. I said, it's my own brand. She's like, oh, really? Well, and so I started giving it, and it was called Multiple Sew-In Techniques at the time. So it was interesting because in that moment, I got an opportunity to realize you come to Atlanta and you really think like, you just think about you going to Atlanta, you're nervous. I'm coming from a very small town. I was super nervous. Like, I'm going to go there. The competition is crazy. But then getting here was totally different. And again, you just know when it's a God thing, because I was like, you know what? You got those that do and those that don't. You got those that will and those that won't. So it's up to you what you want to truly happen in your life. So in that moment, I realized, just stepping outside the box, like I told you, being a risk taker and not being afraid. So now that's why when you asked me that first question about, the 3 things I'm grateful for is being led by God, because I've done those things just on my own. So I'm only excited about what he's going to do with me putting him first. You get and it's been scattered. So now I'm just like, you have made a mess.
Wow.
Let's get it together. So,
okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
This is exciting.
Yes, it is.
So one of the frameworks that we work with as well on this show is the 3 C's, which are congruence, which is your alignment with yourself, capacity, which is the handling of your energy, your time, and your resources. And then compassion, which is kindness towards yourself, towards others in a way that motivates you to help them. So starting with the congruence, how have you on this journey come to align yourself? Like how, now that you're saying that your life is being led by God, and that sounds to me like a matter of you being congruent with what God wants you to do.
Yes.
How did you arrive? Was there a moment that was like, stop what you're doing right now and move in this direction? Or was it just over time?
Oh, that's a great question. When I think about the congruence, again, when we were talking earlier, being a hairstylist is, I absolutely love it. I know that I'm operating in my call. I'm gifted to do it. I mean, we can do it in our sleep. But there was a sense of where I wasn't feeling fulfilled. And I know that I was supposed to be doing more. Not only that, but seeing the need and then providing. So when I think about being in alignment with what I'm doing now, the teaching, the developing leaders, things of that nature, I moved back to Atlanta about 2.5, 3 years ago. And I moved back here to teach the educators and training program. So the educator's educator. And that just happened. And it didn't just fall in my lap. I was living in Florida and it just happened. And everything was so easy for me to do. So in that moment, I'm just like, I didn't feel qualified at first. But then when I said, yes, let's do it. So now it's honestly prepared me for the leadership and the development of leaders in the direction that I'm going towards. So I just began to get in alignment with it by truly like the lack of fulfillment, getting agitated and aggravated, standing behind the chair countless hours. And it's just like, this is not working. So continue to do an old thing, trying to do it. I was just tired of that consistently being behind the chair. I wanted to go above and beyond being behind that chair. So now being in alignment with what I'm doing, I know I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do, but I'm just going to say, I just got to focus on the assignment versus the income that's connected to it, and those type things, because we can get caught up because we're money motivated.
That's
anyway.
Right. That's right.
So, I'm just really, so alignment, I'm just going to say, I honestly can say, just seeing the need and providing, and then actually taking the act of faith, and it worked.
Can you give me an example of something that happened that let you know that, yeah, I'm in the right lane right here?
Oh yeah. So I had a client. Very good. I had a client, and her name was Liza. I just shout out to Liza because Liza really changed my life.
I've top Liza.
Yes, I'm telling you. So I had a client named Liza, and let me tell you, she was in beauty school, and this is in Florida. She was in beauty school, and she went to the same beauty school I went to. Now we're gonna be a little honest here. And the beauty school I went to happened to have, Caucasian educators. They are different than, than we are. And in saying that, that beauty school really didn't teach you how to do like relaxers, how to do braids, how to do definitely not locks at the time. But we wasn't learning a lot. So I didn't learn a lot. Now it's her turn and she's in school. Well, what happened was she said, we are going over braiding. She said, and they don't have a clue. She said, you should come to the beauty school and teach braiding. I braided before I ever did hair. I wouldn't touch braids now, but I used to do braids. I would not do that now. But she said, you should come. Right. And I said, absolutely. I said, I'll do that. Didn't hesitate. Didn't think twice about it. I was excited just for the opportunity because I was at that school. We never had guest speakers or anything like that. So when I went to the school, literally, it came so natural. Like I took packs of hair. I had a little lesson plan written out. Now this comes with no guidance. This comes with never being trained. So that just lets you know, you get what I'm saying? Like
right place.
You are in the right place. I went there, put on the class, walking up and down those aisles, showing those students. And at this time I might have been maybe like 20, maybe about 27.
Okay.
27, 28.
Okay.
And after doing that, they were like, can you come back and teach us how to do the updo style? Can you come back and do this? So in that, I was like, I like the way this feels. Okay. And I had a really good girlfriend who was like my assistant to help me bring all of my things and all. And it was awesome. So in that moment, I said, this is it. So yeah.
That's amazing. So as your business has grown, as you're working with creating leaders, how do you measure the limits of what you can and can't do?
Oh, that's a good question. Did you call me before we had this interview? Because I am working on that right now.
Are you? Okay.
I'm working on that right now. And the reason being is because especially with what I'm working on now, it's a learning curve. It's totally different than anything that I've ever done. So it's just like when you're dealing with AI, when you're dealing with, all of the things that's not, I'm just going to say kinesthetics, where you're not just working with your hands.
That's right.
It makes you really start using your brain and paying attention and studying. You really, because you're becoming a different individual.
This is true.
But in saying that, I am learning the power of no.
Say more about that.
Yes, I am learning the power of no. Example, my phone rang today. And when it rang, I looked at the call and I just kept right on going. And I was literally telling myself, no, we're not going to answer. Because I just told a friend, I said, one of my mentors, he says that wherever intention is, disruption follows. Ooh. So whenever I'm moving in a certain direction, so he's like, pay attention to that. Your phone starts ringing, text messages start coming, people just start popping out all over the place.
Okay.
And it's just like, okay, so no, you're being intentional. So this is a disruption. So you got to learn to say no. So I'm learning to say no because time management is one of those things I've always kind of struggled with. And when I say that, it's because you can find yourself being a people pleaser and wanting to help everybody out. That's and especially when you have a servant heart, everybody call and you just want to give, and you're drained and you don't even have what we talk about, the friends that literally can pour back into you. So now I'm serving from an empty cup. And I started really realizing some of the conversation that they have, that it's not in alignment with where you're going. What y'all talking about? Tell them bye. Hang up the phone. I can't even tell you. Sometimes I just sit the phone down and they just talking, and I'm working.
Okay.
And I have to. But now I'm like, you know what we're going to do? You got to learn how to say no and own that because it's wasting time.
Okay.
And you think you don't have time to do this. I never have time to do this. Yes, you do. You got to start telling some people, no, we cannot talk. And look, it is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, and be okay with it.
And be okay with it. That's amazing. And what do you do to pour back in? You talked about serving from an empty cup. Like, what do you pour back in, and how do you know that, my tank is full right now?
Oh, that's really good. So right now, honestly, being that I've said no, I'm saying no to the individuals that's really not in alignment with where I'm going. I find myself right now in this season listening to more teaching spiritual leaders. And again, listening to, I have some individuals that I'm listening to. I'm just going to say, like Myron Golden is like one of my favorites. I'm listening to him consistently. My pastor Darius Daniels, I'm listening to him consistently. So I'm consistently listening to, that's how I'm getting fed right now. I haven't really joined any. I'm a part of the morning meetup, but I haven't really found my tribe per se. And it's funny that you're asking me that as well, because I was asking ChatGPT the other day. Now I'm telling ChatGPT all my business. I hope they don't ever. When I tell you I'm being transparent with ChatGPT, I'm telling them everything.
Okay.
So I told them about this particular leader that I like, but our spiritual background aren't in alignment, but she's getting the results. Her finances are there. Like, the girl is on fire. And it's something about watching her that makes me want to just be a part of that community. But is this the right community for me? So ChatGPT pretty much said, well, can you eat the fish and spit out the bone? That type of thing. But you're going to consistently be exposed to their way of believing. So you really got to ask yourself. And then, I know I'm just kind of veering off a little bit. I was doing a self-Bible study in the first, and I was led to start studying the book of Proverbs, which is about wisdom. And wisdom tells me something totally different. And I have never looked at wisdom from the perspective that I'm looking at it from. So now I know, this might not be the right thing to do, because it doesn't allow, I'm not going to be holding myself accountable. Then my belief might shift.
So this is what I was also thinking about, chewing the flesh and spitting out the bone. You're still double-minded.
Very good.
Right?
Very good.
And if we go back to congruence is a complete alignment. And if you're saying God's leading you in a particular direction, he can only lead you as far as both feet can follow him. Because if you're straddling, you know what I'm saying? How far can we get? You know what I'm saying?
Now, y'all know I needed that. Very good. Very good. You're absolutely right. So you just helped confirm, because I still been like on the fence. And I think it's more so because in these times right now, when it comes down to, I'm just going to say, when it comes down to finances and we just want more, we expose it so much, you just find yourself getting in a place like, come on, God, like, let's make. So I think, that is a part of the attraction, is the results that she's getting from a financial perspective. What I'm seeing, I don't necessarily know, but I believe it, and it appears to be. So it's just like, I'm so attracted to that. Like,
let me tell you something else, because I'm resonating with finding people, because we're looking for mentors, right? We're people who are where you desire to be.
Yes, ma'am.
There's this. I've been drawn to things of African descent, because my initial goal was to help women of African descent fall in love with their hair, just in the process of giving them locks. That whole colonialism and the way we've been brainwashed about the way we feel about ourselves and our hair, it's like an undoing that needs to happen. And so I've just been lately drawn to people who are moving the African continent and the mindset forward. And I stumbled across this guy. His name is Vusi Tembakwayo. He's from South Africa. He's a sharp individual. But he said, along the lines of, I lost my train of thought.
Say his name again.
Vusi Tembakwayo.
You got your thought?
And he's talking about how African entrepreneurs, there's a blockage in how wealth is viewed. Like, wealth is like a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
So if wealth is not celebrated, then you almost are at a disadvantage, because when you're trying to build anything, people are like, yeah, that's never going to work. And because it's a brainwash. Right? And so what needs to happen is a disruption of people innovating in order for wealth to be okay. But we have to shift our thought process in the way that we're looking at ourselves altogether. It's okay for you to see that something is not working, get in there, disrupt it, and bear the all the negativity and whatnot, which is why we're talking about capacity. Like, how do you have that mental stamina, the emotional stamina to know that even the people who might be talking against you are your own family, and they're like, yeah, that's nonsense, but you're still gonna go through it, right?
Yes.
And so it's like the people who are talking negatively are like an obstacle, right? It's like this barrier in front of you, but how badly do you want to get to the other side?
Right.
Are you going to go through it because you just got to get there? Are you going to be like, yeah, I can take my time and get around it? Or are you just going to be like, yeah, they said no, I'm just going to sit here and not do it? Which is not for someone who's trying to get somewhere, that's really not an option
at all.
Right?
No.
And so that shift in the mindset, I'm resonating with what you're saying, that you really just have to pour into people who are going where you're trying to go.
Absolutely.
But what he said was, don't be committed to their result. Be committed to their process. And in their process, you'll find out, right, that there was no congruency in their belief system, which means you need to find someone whose result is like that, but their process is something that is also aligned.
Very good.
Right?
Well, that's what I'm looking for. That's it. That is it right there. Someone whose process, not the result, but whose process is in alignment with where I'm going.
Exactly.
Makes perfect sense.
Exactly. Because then the results are yours, and you can repeat them that way as well.
Very good. Very good.
Awesome. So now we're going to talk about compassion. Right. Okay. So when I say compassion to you, what does that mean to you?
Okay. When you say compassion to me, what does that mean? Let's see. When I'm thinking about someone that's compassionate, I don't want to mix compassion with passion.
Okay.
Because I can be passionate about things, but compassion, I'm just going to say, when I'm thinking about it, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm thinking about it from like a place of the way you serve, the way you actually deal with individuals. That's what I'm thinking about, being compassionate for someone, like the way you care, the way you handle them. I guess it's a action maybe.
Right.
So when I'm thinking about compassion, like with my clients,
okay,
things of that nature.
Okay. How does that show up with you and your clients?
So mine is mainly through communication. If I have to say anything, it's mainly through communication, meaning asking them the right questions. And honestly, as a stylist, and this may be going off, but as a stylist, we have a tendency to get clients that kind of get on your nerves, and we're going to be honest about them because they exist.
They do.
But even in those moments, especially this one, because I also do non-surgical hair replacement. So clients that have hair loss, clients that deal with, low self-esteem, because honestly, the main thing is we give them a feeling, we give them a result, but we also give them instant gratification with what we do. So we know that that's those are tied together. But when I think about those clients that have hair loss, and they're very the insecurities can make them have a certain behavior. They can be very snappy. They can be some people that they cannot be nice. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
So the compassion with me actually understanding, like, you gotta put yourself in their shoes. You can't even begin to fathom how they really feel. They know, they like, and they trust you to be their stylist. So the compassion is there, that I'm communicating with them. I'm making sure that they understand that I'm going through this journey and this process with you. So just that support that's there. So I'm just going to say, trying to be more understanding toward the client and what they're going through, along with how I'm going to give them their results, and we both be on the same page. But it's all about serving them the right way.
Okay. What about for yourself? How do you think compassion applies to you?
Compassion applies to me?
Like you giving yourself compassion.
I got to do better at that. But
why do you feel like you need to do better with that?
Why do I think I need to do better with that? It kind of ties back into what you just said about the self-talk. You can get frustrated because literally, since we've been sitting here, I've thought about, like I told you, I'm riding on the road. That's like, that say Ozempic for $3. And I'm telling you, if that say Ozempic for $3, I'm about ready. Like, okay, after this interview, I am on my way down the road, honey. They have to see what's going on, because I'm gonna get my shot today.
Awesome.
But in saying that, I'm just gonna say, applying that to myself, I definitely got to do better at that, because I can find myself. I have a friend that always says, you got to give yourself way more credit than what you're giving yourself. You got to give yourself. He's like, are you paying attention to what you've done? Are you paying attention to what you're doing? The learning curve. And I'm just going to say, mainly with that, I don't really think I celebrate it enough because the average individuals don't do it. Because if they did do the things that we're working on, then they would already have done it.
Right.
So, as far as myself with compassion, I really I gotta do some soul searching with that one. I'm gonna put a pin in that.
Okay.
And that's my homework.
That is your homework.
Honestly.
And your first homework is whenever you catch yourself saying something that's opposite, then you say the opposite.
Yes.
Like, man, you're taking so long to do so-and-so,
Yes.
but you're doing your best. Look how far you've come,
Absolutely.
right?
So I gotta adopt that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, again, I told you I'm on that whole,
I mean, what I know just from, I haven't seen you in a really long time,
Yes,
right?
you have not.
But from the time that I actually met you to what you're doing right now, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So if we just need to like sit down and itemize, like pretend you're about to send your resume off somewhere and you itemize all the things that you've done,
okay.
you should be impressed with who you see.
Well, we're gonna have to do that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
for
take you
sure.
up on that offer.
For sure.
Definitely. Absolutely. I think, we get going so much and,
We
you have these
do.
expectations. And I think, as they say, comparison is a thief of joy.
It is.
That is another thing. Like the comparison, we don't know how bad, how you can be doing it and not even knowing that you're doing it.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying? 'Cause you can look at someone and it's not that you're really saying, oh, they're doing this, I need to do that. But you really start like holding yourself to this
Other
to
standard.
a different standard, and it's almost like no one shows you what's going on behind the scenes.
This is the
you
part.
don't know what people were doing before they got to where they're at, and you're trying to compare someone's middle to your beginning. So it's almost like you cannot compare yourself, Celease. Like stay focused, trust the process, and you'll get there.
And so on our final point, I wanted you to share something that you shared with me about procrastination, because we're talking about being action takers and taking risks and the self-talk. Talk to me about this thought process about procrastination and how it helps us to be in action.
Absolutely. So when I first moved to Atlanta back in 2013, again, like I told you, being a risk taker, but when I moved to Atlanta in 2013, my first worship service, I joined Bishop Dale Brown, the Word of Faith. So when I joined that church, it was so amazing. First of all, he gave us this, when you join, he gives you this CD. And that was back then. So, because they gave you a disc, and it was called Making the Cuts. And in a part of it, that's where it came from. It said, if you don't make the cuts, you won't make the cut. And that resonated with me like it was nobody's business. And inside of that message, he said, procrastination is assassination to your destination in slow motion.
Dang.
When he said that, I think that right there, I was liberated in the moment. I'm just like, she procrastinating, getting away. He procrastinated, get away. So it's just like, I just instantly started getting on this wave of paying attention to procrastination. I started talking to myself, well, when I think about procrastination, it's like the thing that keeps you stagnant. It's the thing you overthinking. You just sitting there, you're doing absolutely nothing. And it's in your mind, I want to do it. You see how to do it. And we can hype ourselves up and think you've already arrived, I think.
Right.
Like you're like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And you're hyped up, but you don't take
an action.
You get what I'm saying? So it's just like, procrastination is assassination, meaning it will kill out where you're trying to go. It kills you. You'll never get there. And then whatever destiny, wherever you're traveling to, if you continue to procrastinate, if you don't do the thing that God has already told you to do, if you don't really sit down, put the plan together and focus on the plan, and also be in alignment with have the right people in your circle, because that means a lot of things.
It does.
That means a lot. Then you will find yourself continuing to give yourself a pass. You won't take the things that you're working on serious, and you really, you'll never get there because you're so distracted. You're procrastinating. So it's almost like nothing's happening. So procrastination is assassination to your destination in slow motion.
It's the slow motion
part. Absolutely. So that's something that I never want to experience ever again, because I know what procrastination looks like. And it's just, you're mad, but you cannot be upset about something that you're not willing to confront and then change it. So,
girl, you have dropped all kind of gems today.
And likewise, I'm sitting here like, yeah, we're mic'd up, we're doing all this, but I really need a notebook. Like, what did you say that? What's the doctor? What's his name?
Vusi.
Vusi?
Yeah, just Google Vusi Tembakwayo.
I'm
South
thinking
Africa.
like, I need to take notes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a note taker. I should have been writing that down because he's right.
He's got a lot of really, really good information, and he doesn't sugarcoat either. And I feel like
I appreciate that.
There's a lot of like, well,
oh my
he's
God.
like, what the, it's like he might even throw a curse word in there just
because he means it.
He means it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's really good. It's really good.
Awesome.
Wow. I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. Do you want to leave the audience with like a reflection or something that you would just want to drop it?
So I definitely want to leave you with the thought of don't get weary in well-doing. And the reason I say that is because so many times we're working on things and we're not seeing the result that we feel like we should see. And I listen to a great mentor, and he always talks about the be, do, have of things, meaning you got to become the individual that can do the things that have the stuff. So all work works. So whatever you're working on, whether it's working for you, it's teaching you something. So just know that it is working. So you don't want to ever give up or start doubting yourself. So I'm just going to say to leave you with continue to work hard, continue to stay focused, put God first. If I can tell you anything, putting God first and being committed to whatever your assignment is that he's called you to do. And over time, you will see the results of hard work because, like I said, all work, and continue to become that individual that you're going to be required to become to even be able to experience the life that you want to experience, because who you are right now, who you've been has got you exactly where you're at. So where you're trying to go is it's going to require you to continue to become that individual so that you can one day get there. So do not get weary in well-doing.
So, Celease, how can people get in touch with you if they want to know more and see what you have to offer? How can they get in touch with you?
Awesome. So I have a YouTube channel and I go live every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that is Celease Noel, CeleaseNoel. I also have a school community called the Elite Beauty Educators, and it's a community that I'm currently building out for educators where I'm teaching you to prioritize a business mindset, optimize your skill set, and monetize with digital assets. So as of right now, that's pretty much, if you look interested in getting in touch with me, go to my YouTube channel, and on my YouTube channel, it also has the links where you can find me at.
This was so amazing. It confirms the idea of becoming the person who can do the things in order to have the things. And the idea of sitting down to make a plan so you can see who it actually is that you want to be, which brings us all the way back to those 3 C's, guys. Stay congruent, watch your capacity, and be compassionate. Until next time, I'm Rosalie Matthew, and continue to live your signature life.